At a hospital in a mid-sized German town, suddenly 3 cars rush in, honking like mad. People jump out yelling, "Doctor, get a stretcher, now." One man from the first car shouts, "The patient's in the second car, get him out." But the second car answers, "Wait, wasn't he with you?" And that's when the truth hits. They left the patient in a small village nearly an hour away. They sped down the Autobahn like it was life or death, but forgot to bring the actual patient.
It all started when I went to the ATM to withdraw cash. I inserted my card and it got swallowed. Red warning light started flashing. I panicked. A man behind me said, "Let me help you." He handed me a phone claiming he was the bank. They said my card was cancelled, but turns out the guy was a scammer. An hour later, my account was completely empty. Every single dollar gone. I started walking across the city, trying to get to class. It was a long walk, like crossing from Midtown to Brooklyn. Then a local bus driver saw me. He said, "Come on in, brother. I've been a student too." He gave me a free ride. No questions asked. It felt warm, but by the end of the day, I was broke and scanned.
One day, I was riding a city bus with my buddy. He found an empty seat and sat down. At the next stop, this old man got on with a cane. My friend refused to give up his seat, just being a jerk. The old man stood right next to him, waiting. As the bus moved, his cane kept sliding side to side. My buddy finally said, "Sir, if you put a rubber tip on your cane, it wouldn't slip." The old man looked at him and replied, "Son, if your father had used a rubber back then, you wouldn't be here, and I'd be the one sitting there." The whole bus lost it. That friend never took the bus again.
It was my first week at a new job in an advertising agency. I was sharing an office with this elderly lady. I can't even remember her name. That morning, I was sipping my tea when she suddenly showed up at the door, holding a plate full of cookies. She walked up to my desk, smiled, and politely asked, "Would you like one?" I was like, "Oh wow, thank you so much." And I took the whole plate and placed it on my desk. And yeah, I ate every single cookie. She didn't say a word, just went back to her desk, but there was this weird, awkward vibe. A few minutes later, it hit me. She meant, "Would you like to take one cookie?" And I basically robbed her of the entire plate. I was way too embarrassed to say anything. She probably tells this story to her grandkids now about the cookie thief she worked with. Honestly, she's not wrong. An old lady got on the bus and asked, "Does this bus go to Greenfield?" The driver said, "No, it doesn't." But she still got on. The driver repeated, "Ma'am, this bus doesn't go to Greenfield." She replied, "That's okay. I'm not going to Greenfield either." Everyone on the bus burst out laughing.
Back in elementary school, they showed us a horror movie you had to pay to watch. Our class was always the outsiders. Barely 10 of us showed up. I sat alone in the middle row like a caveman. Suddenly, this new girl from our class sat next to me. During a scary scene, she clung to me like a koala and kissed me on the cheek, almost on the lips. The guys in the back laughed so hard, I freaked out and ran out crying. Before that, in 3rd grade, another girl asked me to be her boyfriend, and I couldn't even reply. After this, I developed an actual fear of talking to girls. After the movie, I saw the girl crying too and realized I totally fumbled it. Honestly, I was the biggest idiot back in 4th grade. So, after a football match with friends, I got on the metro. It was around 11 p.m. I waited like 30 minutes for a minibus. Gave up and asked a random bus driver if there's any minibus to my area. He said, "Nah, too late. Get on this bus instead." I got on, turns out wrong direction. Ended up walking forever just to find another bus. Finally, found one that stopped right by my house. Guess what? The same driver. I told him my Metro card was empty. Usually drivers let it slide, but nope, he refused. I said, "You already sent me the wrong way. Now you want to be strict?" He told me, "Ask the supervisor." I did. The supervisor said, "Sure, go ahead." But by the time I turned around, the guy drove off. I ended up stuck 2 hours longer, plus 80 liras for a taxi. Public transport, 1. Me, 0.
The other day I went to the mall. I thought, we always use the regular restroom. Why not try the disabled one for once? It's probably cleaner, no one's using it. So I went in, locked the door, and after like 10 seconds, someone started knocking. I heard weird noises like, I I was shocked someone was actually waiting. I peeked under the door and saw a wheelchair turning side to side. I was like, no way, it can't be this unlucky. I got nervous, didn't want to come out and embarrass myself. In panic, I splashed a little water from the top, hoping they'd stop. But nope, they got even louder. Then I heard strange sounds and suddenly they rolled out super fast. I waited a bit to make sure it was clear and quietly walked out. That day I made myself a promise. No matter how clean it looks, I'm never using the disabled restroom again.
When I was in elementary school, there was this one bathroom on the first floor that everyone was afraid of. Every time my friends and I used it, we'd hear this strange sound, like crying, and sometimes even a woman screaming. We told our teachers, but they didn't believe us. We were scared, but also curious. One day, after hearing the same terrifying sounds again, we couldn't take it anymore. We ran straight to the principal's office. We were expecting something supernatural. But what we found out was way worse. Turns out, the principal was secretly hooking up with his secretary in the storage room next to the bathroom. All that screaming? Yeah, not ghosts.
I got home late last night, around 2 a.m., dead silence. I took the elevator. On the 4th floor, I saw a woman, long hair, back turned. She seemed to be waiting for the same elevator. When the doors opened, she didn't get in. She didn't even move. On the 5th floor, the elevator suddenly stopped. The doors slowly opened. She was standing right in front of me, but this time I saw her face. It was my face. We locked eyes. My phone buzzed. The notification read, "Don't get in the elevator. That's not you."